Hi, everyone. My name is Annette, and I'm a compulsive overeater. And I weigh and measure 3 meals a day from the gray sheet. I commit them to my sponsor. I don't eat in between no matter what. And abstinence is the most important thing in my life without exception. And I'm abstinent and grateful since January 20th, 2016. And I, I'm an emotional person. Sometimes just saying the mantra chokes me up. So I'm going to take a deep breath. Thank you for asking me to share. I was born a compulsive overeater, so I qualify. My first memory is when I was a little girl at 5. My nickname in my family was Fatty, and and I was the middle of 7 kids, and so I grew up, very interested in food 24/7. It was the highlight of every day, and I was always seeking food and doing all the things that we do. And years later, I was in Al-Anon for 5 years when after being in Al-Anon for 6 months, I gained like 20 pounds. And I think how for me, I shift my focus from one addiction or obsession to another. So I was working an Al-Anon program and using food. And so I was eating more. And anyway, I was busting out of my clothes. And my husband at the time saw a thing in the paper about OA. And so I went to OA. And I was in OA How for 10 years and never had long-term peaceful abstinence. I got to my goal at one point, but we were supposed to weigh and measure all the time, but we could do it with exception. And so I ended up never weighing and measuring any, whether I would eye it or whatever. And I just didn't ever have peaceful abstinence. The chatter never left. I was in a program and I did a lot of work there, and I'm grateful. I'm so grateful for that. They have tons of workbooks with questions and things. And I learned a lot about myself, but if the food's not down for me, I don't really have an opportunity to grow. I'm still in my addiction, and I was clean and sober too, but I was still in the food. And just before Gray Sheet, like a couple years before, and even especially the last 6 months before I found out about Gray Sheet, I was going to my meetings and crying on the way home. Normally I'm an outgoing kind of, talkative social butterfly. And I was just getting quieter and quieter and more depressed. And I didn't even feel like I could share in meetings because I felt like I was going to cry. But also because I didn't feel like I was even clean and sober anymore. I felt like a fraud, and the food was killing me, and I couldn't stop. And I was begging God, to remove the obsession, and just in this horrible, horrible place when somebody came to my meeting that was new in town and said the mantra, the Gray Sheet mantra, and my heart raced. And she was beautiful and coming up on 9 years abstinent, and the way she said the mantra and everything, I just knew that that was something, that there was something there. And so long story short, I asked her about it. She does Gray Sheet, and I committed my food for the first time March 9th, 1999. And I've been in Gray Sheet ever since. I had a relapse on January 19th, 2016. And so I'm gratefully abstinent since January 20th, 2016. And, this program has just given me a life that I never even dreamed was possible. Number one, the thing that, I thought was the most important was to be in a normal sized body for the last 25 years is a miracle. And it's such a freedom that, I forget about that. I mean, I don't forget about it. I'm aware of it, and I feel good
5 minutes.
good in my body. Thank you. But I just that it's just like a side thing now. At some point it just became secondary to, the growth that we have when we're abstinent. When I'm abstinent, um, well, I just want to say showing up at meetings and being in a safe meeting, being in a meeting where I feel comfortable enough to be open and honest and share whatever's going on with me, um, is key. And I was thinking of, awareness, acceptance, and action, the three A's. And in the first few months abstinent, I became aware. I mean, I surrendered. I obviously, the day that I committed my food, I surrendered the first time. And just, along with that, I've just thought, oh shit, what have I just done? I don't know if I can do this. But I became aware that my higher power was doing for me what I had never been able to do for myself. So, surrender had to happen. And I've been in AWOLs with a lot of you through the years, and worked through the steps in this program and other programs too, and gone to retreats, and allowing people to get to know the real me is not that easy. I'm kind of shy, and yet I'm not. I don't know. It's like when I'm in when I'm with Gray Sheet people, I am at home. You guys understand me. You guys get me, and it's just the perfect opportunity for me to, start to learn that I'm okay and accept myself and learn to love myself. And in loving, I love you guys first without question. I love people, but I especially love GreySheeters because you get me. And through loving you, it's like I've learned through the step work, through fourth steps and fifth steps, that there's nothing about me that's so flawed that, that you're going to kick me out. For one thing, I belong here, and it's a safe place for me to do step work, to learn and grow. And I love meditation. I've learned that through the years. I do a meeting every day, but I meditate and journal. And with that, what I've been doing is really learning how to listen. And that I know there are how to listen to God meetings, and I did some of that at several different times, but I didn't go through the whole thing. But what I got from that for me was that I asked God for help a lot, but I realized that I wasn't listening. And so for the last year or so, I've really been concentrating on really clearing my mind when I'm meditating. And I don't do that perfectly, of course. I have to stop and take a deep breath, pause, and ask my higher power to, okay. And I'm actually able to do that. I'm just amazed. I'm able to actually listen for periods of time. And with that, I ask for that higher intuition, a higher, I have that, the promises are coming true, that inspiration comes. And sometimes, I don't know what my lesson's supposed to be today, but if I just quiet my mind, and I've just been in a meeting with people that I love and respect, and have recovery, and share their experience, strength, and hope. And and then I pause and listen. Things come, it's like I have an intuitive thought that helps me, know how to handle situations as they come up, and I start my day with an intention and a thought. I do the day, the morning readings that I do, usually daily reflections and several others. And I get to have a day, they're not perfect. My days are like all of, some days are better than others, but I get to be able to be aware of what's going on and be present with people, and actually listen and feel like I feel worthy. I don't have to feel like less than all the time. I don't have to, I don't have to make excuses.
That's 10 minutes?
Thank you. Thanks, Carla. I don't have to, I can, if I'm not responsible for someone else's discomfort, I just get to be present, and I can sit through my own discomfort and know that I'm going to turn a corner, that it's not going to be like that forever. And my life day to day is amazing. I'm just blessed, and it's all because I weigh and measure my food. I committed to my sponsor, and it's like the most spiritual practice that there is. And being gray sheet abstinent is the highest form of self-love. It's the highest self-care that I can do for myself. And because I'm abstinent, because I'm physically abstinent, I have an opportunity to just I'm becoming. I don't know who I'm going to be tomorrow. It's like I can't imagine um, feeling any more connected. I mean, you are all my higher power. I have like a divine loving higher power that I get through all of you. And it's like you're the voices of my higher power. And I'm just so grateful to be here. And I think I'm going to pass. That's what I have. So thanks for inviting me, and thank you for my abstinence.